Now we're going to learn another tune on the first, second and third string, one I'm sure you'll recognize. It's Happy Birthday. Now, if you refer to the written material, you'll notice that this tune begins not on the first beat of the bar, but on the third. And it starts with the third beat being divided into 2/8 notes, like 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, like that. Now that's called an incomplete measure. Anyhow, here we go. I'll play the tune so you can hear what it sounds like if you've never heard it before. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 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 1, 2. Now let's learn that in detail. And like we did for that rock pattern on the first 3 strings. That is all the fingers curled over and sitting nice and comfortably on the 4th string, with our thumb resting on the 6th string and our wrist once again raised up from the body of the guitar. Now we're going to use our first finger and play these 3 strings here. And as I promised you before, we won't always be resting our hand like this. Quite soon we'll be playing without having to rest. We're just doing this so that our right hand maintains a proper position for the time being. So here we go with our right hand position. And the first 2 notes we play are 1, 2, 3, and, which we pluck the open G with our first finger. We play it like that. 1, 2, 3, and. Now let's take a look at the left hand. Here we go. We start off with the open G on the 3rd string, which we play, as you recall, with 2/8 notes on the 3rd beat. So we go 1, 2, G, G, A, G, C, B. That's our first musical phrase. Again, G, G, A, G, C, open B. Then we repeat that phrase again, but end it slightly differently. G, G, A, G, D on the 2nd string, C. Then we go G, G, G on the 1st string, open E, C, open B, and then A. Again, G, 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 E, C, B, A, F, F, E, C, D, C. Now, to continue with this lesson, we're going to learn 2 new chords, G major and F major. Now, we'll warn you, F is the very worst chord of all to try. You'll be very frustrated, but with lots of practice and lots of patience on your part, you should be able to get it down. We're going to learn a G major or G chord. We're going to place our first finger, once again, on the 2nd fret on the 5th string, right behind the fret. Our middle finger goes on the 6th string at the 3rd fret, and depending on your hand size and flexibility, it's a bit of a stretch, but you want to put your 3rd finger on the 1st string on the 3rd fret, same fret as your middle finger is on the 6th string. And that sets us up with a nice G or G major chord. Now, it's a difficult chord to change from, particularly if you're going from C to G or from D to G, because once again you're going to wind up wanting to put your first finger, then your middle, then your 3rd. Again, my advice to you is that's okay to begin with. It's natural to put your first finger, your middle and your 3rd, but eventually try and get, for example, say these two to land in one go, and then this one. And then if you can't quite get them all to land in one go, try reversing by putting this one down first, this one and this one, and within a few days of steady practice, they should all land in one go. Now let's go to the dreaded F chord that I told you about. F is a lot like C in appearance, except this finger goes here on the 4th string, and your middle finger goes here on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Now the big problem with this chord, that's the easy part by the way, is the first finger has to press on the 1st fret 2 strings at once. The 1st string and the 2nd string. Now I'm going to show you how this works. Here's a single note F being played, and here is a single note C being played. Now if I press down with my first finger behind the fret, hopefully without any buzzing sounds, I'll get the 2 to play, and if I hit them at the same time, they'll both ring without any buzzing as a chord. A chord is really more than one note played at the same time, so there's a little 2-note chord. Now this technique I'm showing you, where you press down with your first finger, is called a bar. Not to be confused with a bar of music. This is called barring. This is a little tiny bar, which I would refer to as a mini bar, since it's only pressing down on the 1st and 2nd string. Now, it's very difficult to get those 2 notes to ring nice and clean in one go like that. What you can try and do is set your finger up like this, that is flat onto the strings right behind the fret, and lean your finger, roll it away towards the nut, this thing here. So put your fingers there, roll it back. The reason I'm suggesting you do this is when you add the other fingers over, the bar doesn't lift off. If you start off flat with your finger behind the fret, you may be getting the 2 notes to ring really nicely, like that, but when you add the middle finger and the 3rd, there's a tendency for that 1st finger, which is doing the barring, to lift up a bit, and you get a muted, muffled out sound on the 1st string. So to avoid that, and to give you your best chances of getting this nice and clean, is to start out with your finger flat, roll it to the side nearest your thumb, roll it towards the nut. Now of course by rolling it this way you're going to get a buzzy sound because you're too far from the fret. So start behind the fret, roll it over, then bring your wrist and your thumb and your hand up tight in line behind the fret, like that. So again, like this, roll it over, it's all buzzy, slide it up, then add the middle finger and then the 3rd, and play it with the right hand pick from the 4th string down, and see if you're getting each note. Now don't give up and don't be too disappointed if it sounds just dreadful, like, I mean it might really sound bad, but don't worry about it. With constant pressure and practice and pressing, you will be able to get a nice clean sound. And it's well worth it because a lot of songs use F in them, particularly combinations of G, C, and F. Best of luck with that. Just a few final words before we close this lesson. Once you've struggled and mastered how to get the right sound with the F chord, once again, when you're changing to it, try and land with all your fingers in one go. Your bar finger will automatically lean on its side and be right behind the fret where you want it, and your other 2 fingers will be able to land in one shot. I'm just going to change from C, I move across down to F, and there it is.